Hello everyone, what's up? It's the Insane Game Freak here. So PSX, or the PlayStation Experience 2016, happened last weekend, or I guess a few days ago, depending on when this episode, well actually this video will probably come out on a Tuesday, but I didn't wake up. I was already up, so you can't make the joke, I'm sorry. Anyways, so PSX happened, and I've heard people kind of whisper little murmurs, and primarily I've been hearing it from, like, I saw Rob's video and I saw Nia's video, which brings up the question: do you think that Nintendo should do something more like the PSX experience over like Nintendo Directs? Because the PSX became this huge event. You had various different developers sit down and talk. You had these roundtable discussions. You know, the fans got to come in and try out the games at the event. You know, is that something that Nintendo should do? And the thing about that is that Nintendo's already done the variation of that, which was what their Space World conferences used to be when they were doing Space World stuff. Because they don't do that anymore, we essentially now just get directs. And what it really turns into is, do I want one big ass event that I could possibly go to and do some stuff? You know, get developer interviews, demo some games, you know, sit through a press conference, or do I want to have, like, I don't know, let's say 4 or 5 directs throughout the year? Not necessarily huge stuff, but, you know, you get an announcement here, you get a cool announcement there, you get 3, you know, stuff like that. And the other thing, neither there, and obviously it's because they always do this shit stealthily, which I think is a problem in its own right. Nintendo put out a survey on their, I believe, Twitter page a while ago, probably about a month or 2 ago, kind of outlining their social media presence and if there was certain things that they want to change. And a lot of people were like, well, you know, it wouldn't hurt for them to do a PSX event. And personally, for me, considering these type of events only really benefit a small select amount of people, it really wouldn't make much of a difference to the general Nintendo fan, because the general Nintendo fan can't go. Like, the things that really meant anything to us as Nintendo fans was the stuff that happened like at Best Buy or GameStop, where you could try out, where they had the demos of new, like the E3 demos they had for like Donkey Kong and Mario Kart. Those, or I think 3D World was another option. Those were cooler things to me than, no, what was it? Yeah, it had to be 3D World. Those were cooler things to me demo-wise than just doing a giant event that only a select few are going to be able to go to. Because at least with the Best Buy demos, Best Buys are pretty much in every state, so you might have to drive a little bit out of your way, but you have the possibility of dealing with it. I think that's cooler. The other thing is that I don't really care to have one event when Nintendo can consistently keep my interest throughout the year, versus PlayStation's whole thing where, and I'm not trashing their event. I'm not saying their event was bad. The event was short. It was sweet. I actually watched it. You got a whole bunch of new trailers and announcements and some extra footage of games we already knew about, along with some new stuff like Last of Us 2 and stuff like that. You know, it's a fine event. I'm just saying, for me personally, I would prefer the Nintendo Direct style, where I get these, because then I get a cool presentation that's pre-recorded for 45 minutes. Also, because I think Nintendo can't really reach their full potential in the way they handle addressing their fans versus Sony. Like, Sony's very kind of professional. We drop some trailers for some games, we show you what we got, and then you go out here and play. Nintendo always kind of wants to make every little thing fun. That's why their E3 press conference for Smash back in 2014 was the ridiculous, you know, Dragon Ball Z type of fight between Iwata and Reggie. Or the joke with Iwata in the Nintendo Direct where he would hold up a banana and look at it. Shit didn't make any sense, but it was just funny and random. Or even when Luigi's Mansion 2 was getting promoted and you had Miyamoto come up behind Iwata with the fucking Poltergust. You know, it's that kind of quirky shit that you can still do on live. It's just not as fun. You know, it comes off more awkward because Nintendo stuff isn't necessarily, and then you can't get as creative with it. You know, you can't have kick-ass Muppets. You can't, I mean, what do you look like going into a press event with Muppets in your hands and trying to do a skit for like thousands of game journalists and like some fans? You know, it's not as appealing. But you do that in the pre-recording, what they did with Star Fox, it's just, that's a fun time. It's a fun experience. Or the little tournaments, you know, like Nia was bringing up, like the Smash Brothers thing or the Nintendo World Championships. Those things work as live events. I don't really need PSX. And if anything, and the one thing I want to bring up the survey again that I told you that they had put out on, I want to say Twitter, which was probably the first problem. They stealthily put a survey out. So I'm curious how many people even filled it out. I filled it out, but I'm curious how many people. And one of the things I saw on there was more streams. This is something else I would totally like to see. Just look, it's kind of been obvious ever since they started pushing the Treehouse in the Nintendo Digital event, which was back in 2013 more often, that as Nintendo fans we have come to enjoy the people at Treehouse and them, like Sam and a few other people. I know a few people have left, but you know, Sam and I want to say Casey. It's not JD. Well, it might be JD. I'm thinking I've also been watching a lot of Run JD Run, so my thought process is it JD or is it someone? Is the name? It's not important. The point is that we got kind of introduced and got to see more of Treehouse through the digital events, and it created faces to attach to the name Nintendo on top of the Reggie and the Bill and the Miyamoto and the Iwata shit. You know, we know that Kimishima's probably not going to be the kind of guy that comes out there and does a whole bunch of goofy shit. But the Treehouse people are the guys who are constantly working on these games, localizing them, and playtesting them. Why not do little small streams, and it'll be streams that you completely control because you're the ones doing them. Get on Twitch, get on YouTube, and just stream some fucking gameplay. It's kind of like what you did with the Smash Brothers tournament. You stream that, stream Splatoon stuff. Just stream stuff in general. Just play. You could just have it set up where you're playing with fans. Create like these special Nintendo rooms. And if you're in the chat, you get like the special password to get into the Nintendo room. And the first people who jump in, then they're able to play the matches with you. Because that kind of stuff to me is cool. Doing streams and interacting with your fans on a casual level. I actually wish the other companies would do that. And I think Microsoft does. I have a sneaking suspicion Microsoft does. I think Microsoft has streams. I don't think they're like hardcore official streams. Because I remember when Minecraft was being announced, I would look up Twitch streams and I would find it. But I don't know if those are Microsoft Xbox streams or if those are just Minecraft streams, like Mojang kind of related. But that might be Microsoft. I'm not 100% sure. But my point is having streams, and because then it creates a better connection with your fans. You let them talk and they can shoot the shit. It creates a better close relationship with them, and then, you know, when you see their stuff in the games, and it's also a way just to have a conversation. You know, it's kind of obvious, at least for me, when I saw Reggie play HBox and Smash, he didn't know what he was doing. Reggie probably doesn't play games as much as he wants to act like he does, and the disconnect is kind of bad. I mean, now Bill is a different story. I think Bill to me is a pretty consistent gamer. He might be a little weird. He may not be as like good with certain games, but I could tell Bill is actually like a gamer. I would like to see more of that. That was kind of the things I liked about the Smash and the Splatoon stuff, is that they would take shots at each other. Even during like the Zelda gameplay, they just take shots at each other. Like, Bill, what are you doing? And Bill would go over there and do some ridiculous shit, like when he created like this ridiculous explosion, which was something I don't think he was intentionally trying to. He just ended up doing it and almost killed himself. Like, I like that kind of quirky stuff because then you can have fun with your favorite company while playing games that you're looking forward to play. So you're building hype while also building a connection with your fans. Along with the directs. Like, and actually that's what they probably should start doing. It's like you have a Nintendo Direct and then do a stream. And also just have a stream set up. Even have like a Nintendo stream set up where it's like you schedule it out, like certain days. You just come out and you stream Nintendo games. Doesn't even have to be the newest shit that comes out. I mean, obviously that'd be more appealing. But if you're trying to create a fan base and get more active on social media, that's like the best way to do it. You can tell they're kind of already trying to gradually get into it with the whole how certain YouTubers can still upload Nintendo content without getting copyrighted and stuff. But like, you gotta keep going forward. You know, you're not gonna make yourself known by hiding in the shadows and doing a whole bunch of ridiculous shit. You know, yeah, you can hide in the shadow, throw out a Nintendo Direct every once in a while. That's cool. But if you want to get more in touch with your fans, that's the way my thought process is. So it's like, I don't mind PSX, but I feel like the same thing could apply to Sony. Doing streams with the viewers, just playing games. It doesn't even have to be brand new games, just games. Sony PlayStation games. You know, play Infamous, play Knack. You know, maybe show a demo of Knack 2. Play Street Fighter 5. Play Last Guardian, Final Fantasy 15. That kind of stuff works. Nintendo Minute is probably what Nintendo's closest thing to like having a consistent online show, which is fine. I mean, Nintendo Minute is fine, but I think some people just want people to shoot the shit and play games. I think the only problem is that when you're streaming and you're like representing a company, you're kind of stuck into how much you can do and say. But it would create a better conversation, especially considering people have their issues with Treehouse and certain types of localization. Remember Fire Emblem Fates, Fire Emblem Awakening, we had our issues, because particularly Fire Emblem Fates with the translation. And then we could get more insight into the industry, because it doesn't always have to be the same. Even do like revive the Iwata Asks and have those be kind of like live things where we can just watch a discussion go on between developers and higher ups. You know, why did you make this choice in the game? What about where'd you get the art design from? Where did you get your inspiration from? It's cool. That kind of shit's cool. I don't think that PSX is like the epitome or even really the direction I would want Nintendo to go in terms of handling social media. I mean, obviously they need to get better with it. I just don't want them to just make one event. I like the directs throughout the year because PSX is cool, but you know, I've enjoyed the Best Buy stuff even better because I got to experience that. You know, you don't really, PSX is kind of like limited to wherever that one area is, whereas the Best Buy events back in 2013 were everywhere, or even in the whole E3 Nindies eShop sales and stuff, that kind of stuff. That's cool. So I don't know. That's just how I feel, and that's one of the reasons why Nintendo's E3s have been fun to watch in these last few years. Even if, you know, this year was just Zelda, I still like seeing those people because I've gotten used to seeing the Treehouse guys and girls do stuff over the past 3 years because they did it for 2013, not 2013. Was it 2013? No. 2014, 2015, 2016. And so we got to see them play a whole bunch of stuff. Whether it was Mario Party, whether it was Star Fox, whether it was Splatoon, whether it was Fatal Frame, whether it was, I think we saw Xenoblade, whether it was Codename Steam. You got to see them and see their interactions, and it was cool. So, I don't know. That's just my thought process. But do you think they should start doing more PSX, PlayStation Experience type stuff? Or do you like my idea where they stream more and interact with their fans more and stuff like that? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. This has been the Insane Game Freak. Life's a game, play to win, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out. Click, 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 click.